Hey guys, welcome back here to today's episode of Advanced Bass Fishing, and really appreciate you guys swinging by the channel today. And guys, today we are going to do a little tutorial on lipless crankbaits. I've got 4 of them out here, the ones that I use a lot. These are 1/2 ounce and 1/4 ounce models. Well, actually one of them is a 3/4 ounce, but it's a little smaller profile. But I just sort of want to give you guys sort of a brief little seminar on how I fish these 4. They work good all year long. I'm going to describe the situation there, and I think it's going to add up to some quality fish for you guys. And also, guys, we'll be talking about all of my favorite lipless crankbaits, and I'll put each one of them in my Tackle Warehouse link in the description of this video. If you guys would like to try some of the ones that I link in the video, it's a good way to support the channel. That's much appreciated, and get you guys some good tackle there. And also, guys, real quick reminder, jerkbait fishing is really good right now here in the Ozarks. If you're interested in booking an on-the-water jerkbait lesson, there's not a better time to learn about jerkbait fishing right now. Shoot me a private message on my Facebook page, Randy Blaukat Professional Angler, for details, so appreciate that. Okay, guys, lipless crankbaits have been around forever. Ever since I've started fishing in the 70s, the little Cordell spot. Back then, little brief history on lipless crankbaits. They're not like the high-tech ones today, like this Megabass Vibration X. A lot of the lipless crankbaits back then were these very rudimentary, almost like the old rattle traps here, and there was one called a cotton Cordell spot. And people didn't bass fish with those things back then. These were white bass lures, and people would troll with them for white bass. But it was only been with the advent of some different color patterns and some, improvements in the technology on the design that they become one of the top bass fishing lures that you can fish. And the biggest limit of bass I ever caught in my life, you may have saw it on my other channel I did, which was the 37-pound 5-fish limit. It came on a lipless crankbait. I have caught tons of big fish on it. It's a really good way to catch big ones on it. So I've got 4 right here. I want to explain to you guys my 4 favorite lipless crankbaits and when I use them, so we'll get into that. Now the first one, guys, is a red-eye shad in some type of a crawdad pattern. Now, I actually got 4 different brands of lipless crankbaits here, and I use each one of them in a different situation because the characteristics are different. Some of them are a little lighter and they sink slower. Some of them have a little bit harder thump. Some of them are tighter, but each one of them has their application. But this red-eye shad in any type of a reddish-orange crawdad pattern is probably my top choice for the pre-spawn time of the year. So anytime that I think about red on a lipless crankbait or orange or a crawdad pattern, I'm talking about water temperatures in the 50s in the pre-spawn time of the year. And this is going to be anywhere between February, March, and early April, depending upon your part of the country. To fish it around shallow targets, guys. It's really good over submerged grass. Everybody knows that. But it's also good just going down rocky banks. The same type of areas you'd fish just like a wiggle wart or something. I catch a ton of fish on riprap bank on this thing in the pre-spawn, but just a really, really good bait when the water's in the 50s here. Okay, now next one, this is one when the water temperatures are a little bit colder that I like this. And I have caught some really quality fish when the water temperature is like in the upper 40s. And that's this Yozuri Rattling vibe here. Now the difference between the Rattling vibe and the red-eye shad is the Rattling vibe is a lot heavier, even though it's considered a 1/2 ounce model. Both of these are 1/2 ounce models, but the way that I guess it's the weight or the rattles or something in the Rattling vibe, the bait sinks quite a bit faster, and it goes more, straight down to the bottom like that versus more of a glide, like a sort of slow glide that the red-eye shad does. But anyway, the Yozuri Rattling vibe, guys, I really like this in really cold water when I have to fish the bait close to the bottom in deeper water. Now, one of my favorite techniques for catching fish on the Rattling vibe is using a pumping motion. So I'll throw it out there, water temperature 47, 48 degrees, toss it out there, let the thing hit the bottom, and just pump it off the bottom maybe a foot. Let it fall back down, pump it off the bottom, and then other times I'll keep it close to the bottom. It's like I'll reel it, I'll let it hit the bottom and I'll reel it 5 or 6 cranks and let it fall back down, hit it, just keep it close to the bottom. Really, really good. Like I said, during the same pre-spawn situation, but just a little bit colder water than the 50s. Just works really good for some reason. And same type of structures, whatever your key pre-spawn areas are. I catch a lot of fish just on secondary points with it, just going down rocky banks, whatever that you have there. Okay, the next one is the old school. This is a 1/4 ounce rattle trap. Guys, this is not the 1/2 ounce, but it's a 1/4 ounce. Now this rattle trap, I still have a bunch of them. They're a cheaply made bait, but they catch a lot of fish. This is one of those baits that I talk about that is, there's nothing special about it. Look how simple and rudimentary it is, but there's something about the profile and the way this bait moves in the water that's very attractive to bass, especially this 1/4 ounce size. Now the 1/4 ounce size for me, I've done really, really good in the late summer and early to mid fall time. When the water, it's tough fishing, water's still pretty hot, water's starting to drop, usually in the fall time of the year. And I can take this little 1/4 ounce rattle trap, guys, and fish it around shallow rock in off-colored or stained water. So my favorite is try to get on a shallow, flat, rocky bank. Flat rocks are even better, but just a shallow, flat bank that has water visibility of about 1 foot or 1.5 feet. And in the summertime of the year, if you got rocks and stained water, there's gonna be some bass up there, and they will eat a little 1/4 ounce rattle trap in that situation. That's about the only time I fish it, is during the late summer and early fall. And finally, guys, this is one of my favorites, and I almost won 2 FLW tournaments down in Florida on this. This is the Megabass Vibration X. In the perch pattern is probably my favorite, but this is actually a 3/4 ounce model. It's the same, it's pretty much the same size as the 1/2, but it's just a heavier bait. But this Vibration X, guys, it thumps super hard when you reel it through the water. And the only way that I fish the Vibration X is pumping it, just like I was talking about the Rattling Vibe. But I just pump it off the bottom, let it go back down, pump it off the bottom, let it go back down. If you have shell beds in the lake that you're fishing, like a lot of you guys that fish the TVA lakes or some Florida lakes, you can take this Vibration X, guys, and you can pump it, let it hit the bottom of those shell beds and pump it off of it, and they will hammer that thing. I mean, I've caught some really good fish on it. But I like to fish it with the pumping retrieve. I've caught them on it just straight cranking it, but there's something about the design of the Vibration X, the way it falls, it's just really appealing to just pump it up off the bottom and let it go back down, pump it off the bottom. That pumping technique that I'm talking about catches big fish. Now, a lot of people don't think about fishing a lipless crankbait like that, but guys, I can assure you, if you take this Vibration X and this Rattling Vibe and you get into a situation where you have water temperature 45 to 60 degrees, just try fishing these things on the bottom, pumping them. They work really, really good. Okay, guys, that's just a little brief little seminar here. Again, I'll link all these in my Tackle Warehouse, link in the description. Appreciate the support, guys, you all are showing me, and we'll talk later.